Red Voyage News, splashing the check-in. Thank you for tuning in. And I want to talk about the 2 black women that were deported from Indonesia the other day. Now, they were living abroad, traveling abroad, as thousands of foreigners do from all nationalities. And they decided to give a positive review about their experience in Indonesia. They gave the review on Twitter. Somebody asked them a question about paying taxes. And one of the girls' response was, I believe her name is Sandra. She said, "Why would I have to pay taxes if I never made Indonesian rupee in dollars? I pay American taxes for making United States dollars." Okay, so that sparked an outrage, and Indonesian people on Twitter wanted them out of the country. So before I move forward with what I have to say, let's read the tax laws on the Indonesian government website. Now, I'm reading this straight from the government website, okay? Foreigners in Indonesia for more than 183 days will become domestic tax subjects. Foreign nationals who are in Indonesia for more than 183 days within a period of 12 months will automatically become Indonesian domestic tax subjects. To this existing provision, the omnibus law further stipulates that foreigners who become Indonesian domestic tax subjects will only be taxed for the income they receive or obtain in Indonesia. So this wasn't about no damn taxes. Let me read that part again for those who are slow. To this existing provision, the omnibus law, OMNIBUS law, further stipulates that foreigners who become Indonesian domestic tax subjects will only be taxed for the income they receive or obtain in Indonesia. So that woman was not wrong. So all you coons and mammies out there that are saying, well, yeah, they weren't paying their taxes. They weren't paying their taxes. I just read it to you. So what you got to say now? This wasn't about taxes. This was about them being black. This was about people suffering during the pandemic. And they didn't like how black people were showing how good they were living in a country. It ain't my fault that, it's sad. Don't get me wrong. It's sad. A lot of people are suffering through the pandemic. But if somebody's making money and they're doing well for themselves, people are still living their lives out here. If they want to show how life is treating them on social media, then so be it. Who cares? That's what social media is for. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Who cares? People show their lives on social media. They weren't flossing. They weren't bragging. As a matter of fact, they were helping a lot of people in that local village. They were helping a lot of people. They raised money from their family and friends back home in America. They were getting donations, as people do on YouTube. They get super chat donations. They get PayPal donations. They get Streamlab donations. So it's not illegal to get donations. They got donations from their family and friends in America to help the people in their village that they were living. So they took that money and they brought groceries, they brought diapers, they brought baby formula. It was on their YouTube page, but because of the backlash, they took that video down, and I'm punching the air right now because I didn't save that video. I watched it 3 times and I should have saved it, but I didn't. Then they kept moving the goalposts and saying, oh, but they were on overstay. They weren't on overstay. Now all of a sudden, everybody's an immigration officer. You don't have access to their passport. They were giving out all types of visas. You got tourist visas, business visas, student visas, work visas, and COVID visas. They gave over 3,000 Australian people COVID visas for them to stay in Indonesia if they had the money so that they didn't have to go back home. Where is the outrage for them? Where is the outrage for all these YouTubers who are digital nomads? I lived in Asia for 7 years. All right. You got a Caucasian couple right now in Taiwan who they don't work. They make all their money off of YouTube, and they have over 1 million subscribers frolicking around the country, showing their apartment, showing where there's thousands of people on YouTube that do that in Asia. What's the difference here? I don't see them deporting them out the country. You pay your taxes. I mean, they tax you once you go through immigration. They tax you when you get an apartment. They tax you when you go to the supermarket. They tax you everywhere. All your money that you make from America, if you haven't made 1 cent in the local currency, all the money that you make in US dollars, all that money is being poured back into the economy there. It's not going out anywhere. They only tax you for the visa. This was 100% about race, and I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. That's just how it is out here in Asia. That's how it is in Asia. Black people get treated like that all the time in Asia. You go for a job, they tell you, no, we can't hire you because you're black. We only want whites. I mean, you can ask thousands of black people. Black people have experienced that left and right out in Asia. You know, if you're walking down the street and there's some drunk that wants to assault you, you're minding your business walking down the street and some drunk wants to fight you, and you just run down the street to get away from him and he's chasing you, you're like, okay, I'm going to have to defend myself because this guy isn't going to stop. You defend yourself, you go to jail for 4 or 5 years, just like Wendell Brown in China. You know, you got all these white guys out here, they start up a porn website. That's how they make their money. They start up a porn website. They're having sex with women, and they're having sex with everybody out here. All the local people out here, left and right. Nobody says anything. Nobody bats an eye. They're able to maintain their business the way they like it. But the moment black man has sex with a Korean woman and uploads it on Pornhub with her consent, now all of a sudden, you know, he gets fired and he gets deported. That happened in Korea a couple years ago. So this was 100% about race. There's a lot of anti-blackness out here in the culture out here in Asia. Those women didn't do anything wrong. Those women didn't do anything that everybody else is doing out here. It's not even like, they're getting away with it. What is there to get away with? They didn't break any rules. They didn't break any laws. I just read the tax law to you. Now, what I will get on them about is how when you come over, this is why I said before, when you come over here, you got to get with the group, show cooperation and respect the strength of your own men. And that's the problem with black women out there. You don't value the strength within your own men. Whenever I travel, man, I see you go out to Asia, you see white women, even if they got on a plane by themselves, they find out the local, other people that look like them from their culture, from their country. If they're Italian, they link up with other Italians and they stay close to their men. Okay. You go out anywhere, you go to Korea, you go to Thailand. Even if a Chinese woman was flying out by herself, she will find out who are the other local Chinese people are that are within her age group, and she sticks with them, men and women. The problem is black women do not do that. They distance themselves from black men and sometimes other black women as well. They don't want to have anything to do with their men. They see another man, even if a man is just walking by, he's not stopping her in the tracks. He just says hello. They will suck their teeth, roll their eyes, and you're like, whoa. What is that about? They're absolutely rude and disrespectful towards brothers. And there's a lot of coonery that's in Asia as well. There's a lot of coonery that comes from black folks in Asia as well. They don't want to get up on no game or no instructions from a black man, because if they would have lived next to me, I would have told them, hey, stop helping out these local people out here, because they're not going to respect your handout. They're going to turn around and bite you in the ass, because I would have told them that. Like I've told people in the past before that did not listen. And guess what they would have told me? You see, you're the problem. You're the problem. You see, this is why we left America, because you're the racist. You're the racist. They would have cursed you out and everything. And then a week later, look what would have happened to, or look what already did happen to them. I don't know them personally, but I'm saying if I did live next to them, that's what I would have told them. And I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but let's keep it real. Don't help people that wouldn't even piss on you if you were on fire. This wasn't about no taxes. How do you know if somebody filed taxes or not? Let's put the law to the side. How do you know? You know, out west, when somebody is behind on the taxes, the IRS comes knocking at your door and they give you like, hey, you owe this much. We'll give you a chance by this date to pay it. Your next door neighbor don't file a civil suit against you. They don't know what you filed or not. You speak perfect. Your next door neighbor don't know what type of visa you have. But everybody on Twitter, now all of a sudden they know what visa they have and if they've been filing taxes or not. They weren't on overstay, and by the laws, they didn't have to pay taxes because they didn't make the local currency. They didn't have an income in Indonesia. It came from America. If that's the case, then all students who travel abroad, they would be getting taxed. They would be getting taxed 18, 20%, which makes absolutely no sense. You see the logic behind that? You see the logic? It makes no sense. You got a lot of coons that are siding with people on Indonesia out here. See, they want a pat on the head. They want a pat on the head from them, and that is very dangerous. Excuse me. Black folks, you have no friends, all right? You got to look towards each other and make that work. I've never seen this before. This is something that's new. And then black folks get online talking about, oh man, they shouldn't have been flossing like that. They should have just kept it quiet. You go on YouTube and talk about you go on YouTube and type in life in Japan, life in Korea, life in Thailand, life in Vietnam, life in China, life in Taiwan. You'll see thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of YouTubers just talking about their lives, giving just, the experience in that local country. They all need to get deported too, but doing that, that's a crime now. Hey man, I'm shutting down this video right now. This story right here stinks to high heaven. And then when they got in that press conference, they had no black men around. You see what I'm saying? They had no black men around and they said LGBT. That's when I lost respect for them. You knew it was they racially targeted you. You knew by law that they weren't supposed to deport you, but you had to leave anyways, because if you didn't get up out of there, a mob would have shown up out your house for literally no reason, just for you being black, doing well in their country. And then you had to look for their men to represent you and protect you in the media. You see what I'm saying? Value the strength of your own men, ladies. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video. I'm over and I'm out. Peace.